Good morning. Happy Monday. If you are new here, my name is Holly and I am a 9th grade Algebra 1 teacher. This week is benchmark testing. So the plan for this week, today we are reviewing for the benchmark. On Friday we did linear, today we're doing quadratics. Then tomorrow, 9th graders are taking the English benchmark. They're taking the English benchmark. Wednesday, they're taking the bio benchmark. And then Thursday, they're taking the algebra benchmark. And then on Friday, we're going to chill, okay? I'm not trying to do anything crazy. I say we're reviewing today. We're not really doing anything crazy because they're about to test and I don't want to, just bog them down with a bunch of work right before they test, so we're not doing that. This morning, I need to grade some quizzes that I didn't get to on Friday. I think that's it. This week is very low-key. I mean, it's just a lot of testing. Also, if I sound sick, that's just left over from last week. Last week, I was pretty sick. I feel fine. I feel great. But my voice still sounds... And I have, coughing, sinuses, fun stuff, because it's February. Okay, before I do anything today, let's see if I can be successful today with my daily brain game. Okay, so today, actually, we gotta do the one from the weekend. Connect the shapes. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, that's it. I made a mess of this, so I'm gonna go over it with a color so you can see what my final answer is. That one kind of tricked me for a minute. Not tricked me, but it stumped me for a second. Whoa, no, I just saw the answer to the next page. I got it though. Okay, fill in the numbers. (41 minus 11 plus 5 is 35. I think that might be the only one. Yep. Made it to the end of the day. Okay, it's 4 o'clock. During my conference, I was just planning out the next couple weeks. Basically, I was planning our last unit because we just have one more unit. And then we're done for the entire year. Whatever. But anyway, it's exponentials. And exponentials are really easy the way that we're teaching them. I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. Okay. I think I'm just going to make sure that I have everything planned. And then, found out where I'm going to be for testing. Tomorrow, I'm not in my room. The next day, on Wednesday, I am in my room, and then on Thursday, I'm not in my room again. And then Friday, I'm in my room. So I just, whatever. But today was super duper chill because they're about to be testing, and I'm not trying to overwhelm them with work today. So I basically was just like, yeah, do your thing. Let me know if you need any help. So some of them got it done, some of them didn't, and honestly, by this point, you either know it or you don't, so I'm not worried about trying to, cram people. Since I'm not going to be in my room for tomorrow, I'm not sure if someone else is going to be in here, so I'm going to clear off my desk just in case. I'm hoping that nobody is in here, but I just don't know. I just don't know. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is testing day today, and as far as I can tell, no one's going to be in my room, which, why can't I be in my room if no one else is going to be in my room? But it's fine. I know there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of moving pieces with testing, as if I have an option to do anything else. I'm not going to throw a fit over not being in my room. Before I get into my testing room, let's do my daily brain game. Count the words. I need to find the word seen as many times as possible. Okay. Okay, that might be it. I think there's only 3. Yeah, I think there's only 3. Oh, 4 times. Oh. That's weird. Okay, so I got it wrong, but then as soon as I looked back, it popped out at me. So that's kind of weird. Anyway, done for the day. Let's go find where I'm supposed to be testing and get set up for the day. And then who knows if or when I will check in again, because testing days are crazy. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Today I am giving the TSI. Fun. But at least I'm in my own room for it, so. Oh my gosh, okay. Why do they keep doing this to me? I have 26 on my roster and only 23 desks. I know they probably won't all show up, but that's like annoying. Okay, so I'm gonna get set up in here. Let's see, I have about 10 minutes until students start showing up, so let's do this bad boy. Okay, today's is the right word. Carefree and happy. Effusive, voluble, facile, or blithe. I'm feeling blithe because I think effusive is like over the top, and like facile, it sounds like easy in a lot of different languages. Voluble, I'm gonna go with blithe. Yes. Okay, sweet. Okay, so I am in my room today, but it's the TSI, which last time I gave the TSI, it lasted until 2:30. Yesterday's exam lasted until 2. And then I just kind of sat there and stared at everyone until 4. But I got almost 10,000 steps yesterday, so I'm gonna try and do that again today because, you know, it's just a good habit to form. I really do want to get 10,000 steps a day, but on a normal day I get like 5. Yesterday I got like 9,100. Done testing. This was like the worst testing group so far, which they still weren't bad. I've just been really lucky with my testing groups, but we took until 3:45 and he didn't even finish. The person that was taking till 3:45 eventually just gave up and clicked through, and I was like, okay. But it was fine. I picked up a lot of phones today. I was like, what? Why are you trying? I even said, because I passed out baggies and I said, put your phone in here. And then I picked up all the baggies and then I said, now, if you chose to not follow instructions and you chose to not have your phone in the baggie, it better be turned off and it better be in your backpack. Your backpack better be at the front of the room. If it is on your person, you either give it to me or put it in a backpack. It's not worth it. I still picked up 3 phones. Ugh. But tomorrow is the last day of testing, and tomorrow is the algebra test. So I'm hoping that one really shouldn't take that long. I feel like unless I just get a bunch of sleepers, we'll be done by lunch, because math usually is, again, unless I have a bunch of sleepers. So I have no idea who I'm gonna have. Going to B Hall to test, which means C Hall is gonna be open, and I assume they are going to have displaced rooms be in my room. So again, I'm gonna make sure it's super clean, just so that they don't mess anything up. But yesterday I did have someone in here. There wasn't supposed to be anyone in my room, but I think they had like the late arrivals come and test in my room, because I came in here after school and like the desks weren't where I put them, and it smelled like someone had been in there, which is weird, but I could like smell a difference. And then I looked on the board and it had like start time and end time on it, so I was like, okay, they had some people in here. We have to go deliver some calculators because even though the kids use Desmos, there are some schools that still use physical calculators, I guess. So we have to be able to provide those if anyone requests it, which no one's going to request it because they've been using Desmos all year. They don't even know how to use a real calculator. But we're gonna go pass those out so that anyone who requests can use them. Good morning, happy Thursday. I'm so tired. My hips, y'all, my hips hurt so bad. And this is gonna sound pathetic, but I think it's partially because of how much like pacing I'm doing. Because I'm literally from 8 a.m. until like, I don't know, 4 p.m. yesterday or like 2 p.m. I'm literally just up pacing in my classroom. And my hip, now that's not what's hurting my hip, but I think that's what's like causing it to take a while to heal. I just have bad hips, okay? This is something that I know about myself. I got bad hips. So I think it's just this walking is exacerbating a pre-existing issue. I just checked our schedule. They finally posted where the like displaced rooms are gonna be because obviously we are testing in a whole wing of the school, so all of those classes have to go somewhere else. And I thought for sure that they were gonna use my room, but they're not. I'm so happy. Now, who knows? I mean, they say no one's using my room, but that could change. And I'm okay with people using my room. It's not that big of a deal. It's just, you know. Although, whoever was in my coworker's room yesterday, straight up, like, messed up her room. And it doesn't make any sense why they were messing with anything, because it was a testing room. So, but like all the supplies were in different places. Some of the like supply bins were just gone. Just took it and left the supplies, thankfully. But I'm just like, it's just frustrating. But, I mean, that didn't happen to me, so. I'm still gonna keep everything put away in case they do end up needing to put someone in here, like late testers or, I know they've been pulling kids who have been absent on testing days. They've been pulling them to take the tests. Let's do it. So I'm gonna use my brain today, is what I'm hearing. Let's see. I think final answer is 39. I did a crazy amount of work on that one. Not really. I'm being dramatic. Yay! I got it right. So today is algebra. And I am hoping that it does not take as long as the previous tests have been taking. Because math, I mean, there's only so much time you can spend on it, you know what I mean? Only so much time you can spend on it. So I'm hoping that everyone is done by like 1. That's still a crazy amount of time. But it is 54 questions, I think. It's honestly tragic watching these kids take tests. Because like, they just click an answer, go to the next question, scroll down, click an answer. Maybe they'll skim, click it, go to the next answer. And I'm like, why not even try? Why not even, and I know for a lot of them, it is like a self-preservation thing. They're scared of failing, so they don't even try. That way they have an excuse for failing. Oh, I didn't even try on that. I'm like, I wish you would try though. But we test these kids too much, and that's the truth. And then apparently the STAR test is getting turned into I forgot what the acronym is. STT, something like that. And it's gonna be 3 tests, a beginning of year, mid-year, end of year. And I'm like, okay, so the answer was not to test them more. It's almost 1, and my room is done testing. I had to run down to my room to heat up my lunch and get a fork, because I forgot to put one in my lunch today. So now I am just going to be sitting there, babysitting for the next 3 hours. Good morning. Happy Friday. It's Friday. I'm exhausted. Again, I got here at 7:30 for a meeting where the other person did not show up. I'm real sick of this. But today should be a pretty easy day. I'm just teaching quadratic formula, and I don't even have like a worksheet to go along with it. So it's just the foldable, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 problems. So this is like kind of what I made. I don't know if that focused. I don't really care. Sorry, guys. But that's what I'm doing today. And then when we finish that, they're going to have time to work on missing assignments and just overall getting their grade up, because finalizing grades next week. I'm so sick of testing. Oh my gosh, I am so sick of testing. And I think they decided to have 9th graders take the TSI next week. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Why? Number 1, TSI scores are only eligible for 3 years once you take it. So it won't, even if they pass the TSI their 9th grade year, it won't count by the time they're ready to go to college. And yes, I understand, like, oh, expose them to the test, that way when they take it next year, they know what. No. The TSI tests where you should be placed in college. If any of these freshmen are testing at, like, ready to enter college level, good for them. But they should not be. Like, just by the book. They haven't finished high school. They're not ready for college. So why would you give them a test that they are going to fail? They already fail everything else. Why give them another test that doesn't matter just so they can feel like a failure again? Because I had sophomores take it, Wednesday of this week? Not a single person passed. Not a single sophomore passed. Because they're not supposed to. When they're a junior, sure. Pass it when you're a junior. Because by that point, senior year doesn't matter anyway. You should pass it as a junior. And if you pass it, you get a free period your senior year. So, like, motivation. So I understand giving to them when they're sophomores, because it's like, hey, just so you know, this test exists. And you're going to have to take it next year, and you get a free period if you pass it. So it's like, okay, give them a chance to see it, and then they can prepare for it. Because that's what all of my kids said. They were like, oh, okay, well, if this, at least I know what to study for now. That's what they said. I was like, yeah, that's exactly why we gave it to you as a sophomore. Why did we give it to them as a freshman? They don't need another test that they're going to fail. So if they end up having to take it, I'm straight up telling all of my classes, hey, you're going to fail it. You're supposed to. It's fine. Just click through it. Oh my gosh, it makes me actually really mad. This whole testing has ruined education. Ruined education. On that note, let's do my daily brain thing. Okay, find the typo. I was smiling yesterday. I'm smilling today, and I will smile tomorrow. Simply because life is too short to cry for anything. There are so many errors in this. They're all spelling errors, it looks like. Smilling, misspelled. Tomorrow, misspelled. Use the wrong to. Okay, I was smiling yesterday. I am smiling today. See, I'm a big fan of the Oxford comma, so I personally would put a comma after today. And I will smile tomorrow. Simply because life is too short to cry for anything. Now, if this is how much am I supposed to be editing this? Because I would replace that period after tomorrow with a semicolon or another comma, because it feels like simply because life is too short to cry for anything doesn't feel like a complete sentence. It is, so it's fine, but I'm just saying. I could really take this far. Okay, so let's see what they did. They just changed the misspelled words, smiling tomorrow, into. See, I knew I was overthinking it. Still got it right. Holy crap, I am so sore, you guys. And I'm cramping. Today's just a bad day. Oh, but we're gonna push on through. We're gonna persevere. I'm gonna see if I can find some pain medicine, take it, and conquer the day. It's days like today that make me want to quit. Like, they make me just want to cry. Because there's just so much. And it's nothing new. It's nothing I haven't already said on this channel and to anyone else in my life who asks me what teaching is like. I just feel like nothing that I do changes anything. Nothing helps. Today wasn't necessarily a bad day. Like, nothing super bad happened, but it's just like, they really don't care. And I was doing a lot of, reflecting on when I was in high school and when my coworkers were in high school and stuff like that. For example, I taught the quadratic formula today, which when I was in school, we had to memorize the quadratic formula. It was not given to us on any tests. We had to memorize it. And so my teacher taught me the Pop Goes the Weasel song, which I'm sure most people of my generation learned it the same way. But it's x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. I still have it memorized. I still know it. It's given to them on their reference sheet. And I'm like, okay, they don't even have to memorize. Cool. When I tell you that the quadratic formula is easy, you literally just have to figure out what's a, b, and c. Okay? Which we've been doing that since the beginning of the year. Basically, identifying parts of a function. But once they figure out A, B, and C, then they just plug it into the equation and type it on Desmos. They can't do that. I hate to say they can't because it makes it sound like they're all stupid or were never taught, or I don't know. They just haven't retained anything since elementary school. They haven't retained any of it. They again asked me what a y-intercept is. One of them asked me what rate of change was. You know what I mean? It's just a change of topic. Behaviors. I have a student who acts horribly but never does anything that crosses the line, okay? So he's just one of those students that is always up out of his seat, always talking, always getting into other people's business, always instigating stuff, but he's never like the main antagonist, you know what I mean? Like, he's not breaking the rules in a big way. It's just death by a thousand cuts with him. So anytime that anyone gets onto him, it sounds like we're being dramatic because we're like, oh, he wouldn't sit down. And it's like, you wrote him up for not sitting down, really. And it's like so much more than that, because it's not that he wouldn't sit down. It's that he came into class jumping up and down, screaming at his friends. And it took me 3 times calling his name to get his attention. He sat down, then, oops, he didn't have the paper that he was supposed to pick up, so he has to get up and get the paper. And now he's taking the long way around the room, talking to all of his friends on the way to get his paper, gets his paper, sits down, oh, he doesn't have a pencil. So he gets up and he goes around asking people for a pencil, finally gets a pencil, he sits back down. I start the lesson, he asks something crazy, like something so off topic. He starts talking about something that happened yesterday. And I'm like, that is not what we're talking about right now. I'm teaching. He starts singing a song. Then he turns around and starts talking. You know what I mean? Like, it's just constant little things that I'm like, oh my gosh. And I don't understand. Like, you send them to the AP and the AP will just pull them aside and be like, oh, don't do that anymore. Okay, go back to class. What's the point of even pulling them out of class if you're, and that's not just with this student, like, that's a problem that we see. Certain APs do not actually discipline the students. Like, it feels like, I understand that maybe you are overwhelmed and this doesn't seem like a big deal. So you're like, okay, I'm just gonna give them a talk, a warning, and send them back to class. But that completely undermines us as teachers, because we sent them to you for a reason. Trust us. Trust that we are not just sending you our petty little stuff that we don't want to deal with. Like, trust that we have taken all the steps required, done all of the discipline in the classroom, all the documentation. Trust that we've done all that and actually discipline them when we send them to you. Because you aren't there. You don't see what it's like to have to teach these kids. I just, and I'm trying not to be negative, but, like, it's just every once in a while, it hits me. Like, why am I doing this? Like, I love teaching. I love it. But the amount of disrespect that I deal with on a daily basis, and nobody cares. Nobody, their parents don't care. Parents could not care less. Today was just a lot emotionally. And nothing even happened. It was just a lot of little things kind of boiled over in me today, and now y'all are hearing about it. So, sorry. I really do love being a teacher, and I know that today is just one of those days, and I'll be fine come Monday, but I always want to be real with you guys. Hopefully you know that by now, that I'm gonna tell you about the ugly side of teaching. I'm gonna tell you about the draining side and the reality of what it's like. And this is the reality. As much as I love it, I also despise it some days. So on that lovely note, I think I'm going to sign off, and I will see you guys in next week's vlog. If you enjoyed the video, please like it, comment down all your thoughts, questions, suggestions, encouragements. You guys know the drill, and subscribe so that I can see you in the next one. Mwah! Bye.